Welcome to my video where I explain how to play Delta Force, specifically the warfare mode. And the reason for this is because of the console launch, and there is actually no video actively explaining what to do on Delta Force. So I decided to make a video on that. First of all, let's begin with the class systems. I don't know how the class systems are in Battlefield, but what I can say about Delta Force Mobile and PC and console, surely, because of right now I'm on mobile. If you did not notice, I'm actually on mobile for the most part. But this is the class features. We have assault, the regular foot soldiers, the guys whose job is to strictly attack and defend, shoot anything that is a threat or even looks like a threat for the most part. But support, they are the medics. These guys are the guys that you scream medic, and they have so many gadgets that they can use to revive, enhance their own stats, and also to provide cover, especially on the smoke side of things. These guys are just like smoke demons, like people who know how to play support. These guys just start spamming smoke everywhere. We have our recons, who are basically our snipers, the guys with the claymores and the beacons and everything. And then you have engineers. These guys, they just do crowd control. It's right here on your screen. They just do crowd control using LMGs and stuff. These guys are the wild ones for the most part. They are the ones that if you meet someone who knows that they're an engineer and they're supposed to do their job well, fear them. Honestly speaking, just fear them.
Don't call me Mr.
Now we have an array of operators to choose from, and you need to look at their details. You need to look at the details. Some of these things are very straightforward. You can literally just understand what this operator does and what that operator does just by tapping on the details and seeing what it can do for you. Because like now, Shepard, one of the engineers, his skills, sonic paralysis, you can just click on details and now you've seen it. You know that it reduces fire rate, and it can also interfere with recon, like enemy recon. You can just interfere with them. So when you understand and you know what to do with them, you're just going to have a decent time. And also, if you level up long enough, you can get operator profiles, stuff about their gadgets, their psychological evaluation, action log. These kind of things can just it brings life to the characters, and it's not just generic backstory. So right now, if you check out the loadout section, you can see assault, support, engineer, and recon. Now there are different guns limited to different classes of people. You can see these guys have the MRs and the SRs, the marksman rifles and the sniper rifles for the most part. So many things, so many styles of guns that can be used, but it depends on what you want to do at the moment. But the heavy hitters, the engineers, they're the only guys that use the LMG. They're the only guys that use the LMG. So many guns I've had, but these LMGs are just lit, at close range. These guys are beasts. But remember, the engineer's job is to flank, and they also have a marksman rifle, but that is all. It's just a marksman rifle. They don't have as much as the snipers, and it also applies for all the others too for the most part. But they are also able to access shotguns and assault rifles, though the number decreases because these guys only use SMGs, rifles, and shotguns. So I would say just stick with SMG, please. Just stick with SMG if you're a medic. And then we have the primary weapon selection, and they all just have, rifle, shotgun, and MR. So that is all for these guys. That is just all they need to do. But wait, we also have our side the M1911 from Call of Duty 4. That's the only reason why I selected this gun. I don't know whether it's good or not. Maybe I'll regret it, maybe I won't, but this is pretty fine. Then we have the class gadgets. Do you want to burn people alive like it's the Vietnam War? Well, you've come to the right place, because we have the flamethrower, the anti-personnel launcher, the EMP launcher, so many different gadgets, but it depends on the class that you are at. Okay, because assault is different from medic, and the medics guys, they are just their own is primarily for support. Anybody that uses this med kit is a sweat and should not be seen on the map. Okay, but like it's just my opinion though. Then we have the engineers, with their different types of launchers. Do you want to manually blow up a missile? We got you covered with the 84 launcher. Do you want to use a stinger? Good old Call of Duty 4 and Battlefield style. Yes, you can. And then we have recons too, but the thing about engineers is that they are just, these guys are the backbones. When you can use those things, well, the tanks are just going to suffer for the most part. And then we have claymores, respawn beacons, and laser indicators. But the claymore is okay if you're a sniper for the most part, but then when you can use your gadgets well, you can do well. And straight up, we have the world channel where you can actually squad up and you can meet up with people and you can post what you want to do. Though you have many options, you just need to use that little question mark tag there. But when you go to the squad up list, please be very, 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 very descriptive, because you might get players who don't need you and you don't need them, but they'll just squad up for squadding up reasons, and then you're at the bottom of the leaderboard. It's something that has happened to me repeatedly. So right now I'm just going to decide to play attack and defend, and show you some of the things mid-game. I was actually recording media and mic, but I didn't know I was recording media, which is why I'm talking over the video, if you noticed. So let's dive in. If you look long enough, you realize that I'm using my specialist skill, and this is a riot shield. I know that some players from other franchises, they will tell you that well, the riot shield is so much. They're like, why is it so disturbing and stuff like that? Like, brother, what did you expect it to be? I know that people say that riot shields aren't that powerful in real life. I have never seen a riot shield in action before, but all I can say is that he is an engineer that looks like a dude with a riot shield. Why shouldn't he have a riot shield for the most part? But the way you use your skill, it depends on the situation. I see many people spam out skill when, like, brother, you're not even supposed to do anything for the most part. I don't understand. Like, I see it happen many times. And then you must realize that running away from battles is normal, and using your skills, it's normal, because of you have a primary skill like the one up here, control and buff. Then you have your secondary skill like the barbed wire. The barbed wire you can just use to wear down the HP of your enemies. So as an engineer, I'm just trying to clear out anybody that's advancing for the most part. And as you can see, the barbed wire is actually working out because of someone decided to walk past that point. Remember what I said, damage control. So it just continues for the most part. So right now I'm going to just check the leaderboard, and I'm not number one. I'm not number one, though I did just increase in rank for the most part. Look, it's not about who is number one or who gets the most kills. It's playing the objective, because I've seen dudes with over 100 kills and yet they still lost. So you need to just focus on your priorities. So just focus, and the fun will come. Because I've seen people say that this game is not fun. They're like, where is the battle royale? Where is the this? Where is the that? For the most part. So right now we're taking objective C1 and C2. If you look at where the launcher is, the launcher button is, you notice where that damage sign is. You can actually use it and call down different things, airstrikes, tanks, vehicles, all the stuff that you would need. Though if you're in a building, I don't recommend that you drop it. It's gonna be pointless for the most part. But I just dropped in a beacon so that my comrades can spawn in on me, and so that we can actually take the objective easily. Because if you noticed, we were on a zip line, so the whole time. So I just sped up the process. And sometimes you also get rescued by medics, so don't just die immediately. Though you need to watch where you are on the map. If you are too far in for any medic to come for you and nobody shouting over the mic, just unfortunately, I don't know, maybe just give up and then you have the resupply. You can see these icons on the screen. You can use it to resupply for the most part, and then continue the walk. And then after all my struggling, we lost. But here's the tip in life: defeat is a given, success is a given. It just depends on the situation, the players, your gun, your loadout, the map. So don't feel bad about it. You look at the menu board, my team, even though we lost, we're actually the top squad. So you can understand, even if you chase kills, you can still lose. Oh yeah, and after the match, I actually got a new operator, the new operator for the season. So here's the sitch about things. Delta Force, they enjoy giving people skins just for completing objectives. The beautiful and visually stunning skins, you can choose to buy them or you grind for them, but these things they can just give it to you. Like, these skins are really cool and they are not as wacky as the ones in Call of Duty, so this is actually quite the deal, even though sometimes you might have some weird ones. For the most part, look, in the loadout hub, I'm not going to explain much simply because of you already know how loadouts work. If you want me to make a video on how to make a good loadout, tell me in the comment section. I can't just start talking about loadouts again. You've obviously played FPS games before, probably. Well, I hope this tutorial is going to make you a better Delta Force player, and this tutorial applies to both mobile, PC and console. So if there's anything that I missed, please tell me in the comment section. And if I didn't say anything on certain topics, just know that I know that you can figure it out by yourself. And as always, thank you to the 1440 pixels that were involved in the making of this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Subscribe.